Hello everyone, I am Chef Jeffrey Davis at Roth Living in St. Louis, Missouri. Today we are going to do some dice cuts, some Julienne cuts, and some baton cuts. So stay tuned. Hello everybody, Chef Jeffrey Davis, I'm back. I have a peeled potato and we're gonna go ahead and start doing some baton cuts. I've always liked to keep rulers around if you want to get into some really precise cuts. Just have a baseline of measurement so you got some consistency, and as you do them over and over again, you will not need it so much. And also you want to make sure you have a very sharp knife when you're getting these precise cuts as well. So I have a potato, and the goal of a baton cut is we want to get a 2-inch by 1/4 of an inch stick. So first thing first is we want to take this potato and we want to clean it up to about a 2-inch rectangle. So we want to make sure you have your claw. Your claw is the motion, is what you're going to put with your other hand to kind of tuck your digits in. That'll keep the blade away from your fingertips. So you just want to kind of give them a curl like that. And with your knife, you want to make sure you hold it firm with your thumb and your pointer finger, and then you want to secure your handle with the rest of your hand. So what we're going to do is we are going to trim our potato to where we can get a nice rectangle cut that'll be what we need with getting our baton. So we're just going to go and kind of move towards the center, if you will, and we're going to get to a nice rectangle shape. It's very important to keep your blade, you always want to have it angled towards the corner of your cutting board, and you always want to make sure it's secure, and you always want to make sure you have your claw your claw hand as well, working as well. That way you're safe from any injury, and you don't want to get injured. So we're gonna get this trimmed up, and so I like to use my ruler. So we want to get to a 2-inch. So we're going to cut this down. All these scraps you can save and use for stock. You can even boil them, steam them, and do a mashed potato if you want. Or you can discard them. Okie doke. So we're getting to a nice rectangle. We're a little over 2. We're a little narrow here. We're going to clip that off, and we're going to get this as much as a rectangle as possible. Also, when you're getting to a medium dice, this is the step you want to use to get to your medium dice. That looks good enough for me. So now, get this out of the way. So now we want a 1/4 inch. So I'll just use my ruler just to get an idea. And we're going to go ahead and do 1/4 inch cuts. Just straight down like that. Using my claw, getting my measurement with my knife, and a nice seesaw downward motion like that. So now you're going to have a cut that looks like this. And then from here, and if you want to straighten it up a little bit, a potato can be an awkward shape, so sometimes you got to do a little finessing with it. And you want to trim it up, you can straighten it up like that, get it more of a rectangle. So now we're going to get another 1/4 inch cut. So just use that. We're going to get about 4. We're going to get about 4 out of here. So what we can do, another trick, is if you're going into an even number, you can go middle over and over. That would be too much. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So there you have a nice baton. It's 2 inches. It's 1/4 of an inch. And then after you have your baton cuts, what you can do is you can do another 1/4 inch cut, and that would take you to a medium dice. So you can use your ruler, get your baseline, and then you're just going to always use your claw. See if I can get a little better there. Line it up good, And when you get your baseline, you're gonna go seesaw down, seesaw down, seesaw down, seesaw down. And there you have your medium dice cut. And you can just continue the process like that. And then once you get your batons, if you wanted to go a step further, you can do your dice. So we'll just get these lined up like we did earlier. We have an idea of what our 1/4 inch looks like, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep that muscle memory going, right? And you have some nice, beautiful dice cuts. Now, if you want to get your dice cut a little bigger, you can. All you'd have to do is increase your cut from the start, just all through your process. Instead of doing a 1/4 inch, you would go to 1/2 inch, and so on and so forth if you wanted to go into a bigger one. So I'm going to get into some nice Julienne cuts, so stay tuned for that. Hello again, everybody. Chef Jeffrey Davis in St. Louis, Missouri. I am back. We're going to be doing some Julienne cuts. Julienne cuts, at least for me, are not a standard because they're used in so many different ways. For example, stir fry, carrots for a salad, onions and bell peppers for a Philly cheesesteak. The list goes on and on. So I'm going to show you the process of how to do a Julienne cut, and then from there you can pick the size you want. So for demonstration purposes, I have a red bell pepper, and we're going to go ahead, let's go ahead and do a 1 inch Julienne. So we have our ruler, and we're going to measure out 1 inch, and we're just going to go ahead and cut our 1 inch template off. And then from there, we want to clean it up. We want as pristine of a template as possible. So we're going to go ahead and straighten it up a little bit and clean up the edges. Just like we did with the baton. And we'll just kind of clean this guy a little bit more. Bell peppers have a lot of ribs, so sometimes you gotta put in a little extra work shaving them so they're a little more uniform. Okay, so we have a nice 1 inch base template. Now from here, and again, you want to make sure you're holding your knife correctly, pointer finger, thumb on the other side, and then secure your blade with the rest of your fingers. And then of course, one trick I did when I was young to practice getting comfortable with the claw technique is I would get a cutting board and I wouldn't chop anything, and I would, get my claw form, and then I would get comfortable to the feeling of having the blade rest and rub against my knuckles. Now, when you're doing this method, you don't want to come higher than where your knuckle is. You want to keep it right around there. So that's good practice. It helped with me when I was young. All right, so we have our 1 inch. From here, we can go as thin as we want. So we're going to, again, keep our blade on the opposite end corner of our cutting board. And then we're going to do some real thin ones. So we'll just, seesaw down, seesaw down, seesaw down, seesaw down, just like that. And we're going to use this hand to kind of measure. So those are thin. These are really thin ones. Now, from there, you can go thicker, and you're just going to use your claw to kind of get in position, and then from there you will get your thicker cuts, and you can pick any size you want. And then here we have some nice thicker Julienne as well. Now that was a 1 inch. If you wanted to go and do a 2 inch, just same process, just we know we got a odd shape there, so we're just going to clean this up a little bit so we can get more of a true 2 inch, right? So we're going to use our ruler. We're going to measure out 2 inches. We're just going to cut completely down, and we're going to do the same process we did before. We're just going to try to get this as uniform and as clean as possible. That way we have nice consistent cuts. Okay, so this is a 2 inch, and same process. Hold proper knife handling is very, very important. And then from there you can, again, you can go as thin as you want, or you can make them as thick as you want, just like that. So that is the Julienne cut. I hope this instructional was helpful. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you soon.